Hi all, in this video, let's learn about TypeScript tuples. So this is a special data type. We'll discuss what all the scenarios we need to use, when to use it, and what all the use cases and how to use it. So let's get started with it. So firstly, tuple, it is like an array type of data type, extending the array functionality or capability. We can consider this as an advanced array, but it is of fixed number of elements in it, and also the order matters, and also you need to know the type of the data you're keeping in that array. Fine, these are the few things we need to keep in mind while we are working with the tuple. So first thing, so how it looks, so it looks something like this. I've defined a variable, so this is how we need to define a tuple. Okay, and these are the values. This is like a declaration and initialization of a tuple. Okay, fine. So in like just decoupling that, so this is how you can declare, and this is how you can initialize the variables. Okay, number, string, and boolean. What does it mean, like these values? So you are saying that this array is of fixed length, so it only consists of 3 elements. Okay, and that too, the 3 elements should be in the same sequence of order, because the values we insert will be in the same order, right? So in that, similar to that, so you are declaring a variable and assigning this mutable to this variable, and the values, if you see, it was assigned in the same order: 10, string, and boolean, right? So this is what the basic usage of tuple. So now let's understand what is the use case, where exactly I can use this tuple. Firstly, coordinates. So we can consider the coordinates are fixed, so latitude and longitude. So only 2 values will be there for the coordinates, not more than that. So it means in an array, there is a fixed number of elements, and you know what type of elements are that. So those are numbers. So in these situations, it is an ideal to represent this data with a tuple. Okay, this is the best use case. And coming to the second use case, this is also more or less similar to that. RGB, like red, green, blue. When you're trying to represent any of the color values, okay, we'll be having only three these RGB, right? So in this cases also you can define them. So if you see, the length would be fixed RGB, and the order of the sequence is also fixed. If you consider the order of the sequence, okay, and the order of the properties also you need to give in the same way. Okay, so the types and the values also in the same order. So this is a second use case. The perfect use case to use this tuples is for the coordinates, for the RGB color, and for other use cases. So let's discuss that. So whenever you have a function, so I have a function like this. So I'm passing one ID to that. That's a string. So now if this function wants to return multiple values, okay, then the return type of this function, so what it should be. So now here you are returning name and age. Okay, in this case also it is fixed, and the sequence also matters. So in this case also you can use this tuple. Okay, these are the major use cases where you can use a tuple. So I hope you understand this, where you need to use, and let me explain how to use and what all the different things we need to look at the tuple. Firstly, whatever here we have seen is in like a normal tuple. So just, it's not a named tuple, it's a just a tuple, basic tuple. Now, if you wanted to use this as a named tuple, so this is a named tuple. What does it mean? So earlier you are just mentioning it is a string, number, and boolean. So you wanted to have 3 values in this tuple, and the order is a string, number, and boolean. But in the named tuple, what happens? So you're mentioning what is this property is all about. Okay, so now it makes more readable, and others also can understand why this property should be used, where this property should be used. So this makes us more readable, and it is recommended. So whenever you wanted to use tuple, so go for the named tuples. And here now, if anyone trying to access this, they can understand this is like a name. See on the top, if I hover, it is like a name, age, and is admin. So these are the properties. It seems to be like an array, but here if you see, it is like an object name, key value pair like. Okay, so it is recommended to use name tuples. Fine. So this is the basic name tuple. And now going to multiple features of the tuples. So firstly, we only used a single tuple now here. You can also use multi-dimensional tuples. So for example, what does multi-dimensional tuple means? You might have seen array of arrays. In the same way, array of tuples. So for example, simple, this is a simple tuple. So if you use an array next to this, this becomes a array of tuples. In short, it is a multi-dimensional tuple. So how to assign the values? So if you want to give a list of points, so coordinate means a single dot. So if you want to give a points like a line or a curve, so then this points comes into the picture where you need to give a couple of array of coordinates you need to give. So that in that scenario, you can use this multi-dimensional tuple. Okay, this is the one use case. And next coming to the, for example, if you have two values like string and number, if you wanted to have an optional elements in your tuple, yes, it is possible. We can do that with adding this question mark at the end of the property. Okay, so now we have given this as a number. So now this is also a multi-dimensional. So for that reason, so you're giving two values here, Alice and two. So string and a number. This is a valid value. Okay, and here you're only giving a name, you're not giving the number. So because the number is an optional field here, okay, TypeScript compiler will not give any errors. But if you wanted to add any of the extra elements, so in this case, so we have only string and number, but if you wanted to add one more element here, so then the TypeScript will give an error. So this is about optional elements, how to define or how to declare an optional elements in the tuple. Fine. Hope you understand this. And coming to the next point. So ideally, this tuples or by default, these tuples will be mutable. It means you can change them. But if you wanted to make them immutable, okay, then you can use this read-only keyword. Okay, ideally this will be mutable, all the tuples. But if you want to make that as an immutable, then put this read-only keyword. That's it. So if someone wants to add something to this tuple, so you'll be getting this error. Okay, it's like making this tuples as a read only. That is the another one. So how to access this tuples? Yes, I have defined a tuple. Uh, this is a tuple I have defined, and I'm assigning the values here. So how to access that? So this is the way you can access this. Okay, so the same as a array of first element, array of second element. This is the way you can access the tuples. So as we discussed it, the tuples are like an array. So most of the methods which we use for array, like push, concatenate, and destructuring of arrays, all these concepts are related to the arrays, right? And tuples are also similar to the arrays. So they can also use this destructuring capability. So if you do this, like you can extract the values of the person. Getting? So this is how you can access the tuple values. Fine. So how to add the elements to the tuple? So the same way, like as we discussed in an array, we will insert the elements with a push operation. So in the same way, you are pushing the two elements, but here you will not push a single element. You need to push this number and the string. So and how it appears? So it appears something like this: one Steve and two Bill. Okay, this appears something like this. So these are the use cases and scenarios which are around the tuple. Okay, hope I have discussed a lot of things, and majorly you need to understand what is the use case when I need to use this. It should be used in the coordinates and RGB, or when you are trying to return something. So these are the generic use cases, but keep in mind whenever you want to represent a data which is of fixed size and which the type of this is a known type, and the sequence also matters. Here the sequence is very much matter in the RGB or the longitude latitude. Sequence is also matter. The whatever the type you are giving and the values you are giving, the sequence of order is also important. How you insert that and what type you insert that is also matters. So in these scenarios you can use this tuple. Hope you understand the video. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more videos. Thank you.